everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you guys? So happy to be here with you today. Look at this adorable treat box we're making. If you guys know anything about me, my daughter has a bunny. His name is Jasper, and he looks like this little bunny right here. So I colored him to look like Jasper, but we can make our bunnies any colors we want. This guy is adorable and close to my heart because he does look like her bunny, but you guys can color yours any color you want. I'm going to show you how to color black. I know that we don't use black a lot because it's kind of hard to color the stamped images and make them look good, but today I'm going to try and show you how to do that. We're using the Easter Bunny bundle. It has a punch. Right now the punch is back ordered though until May, but what I wanted to let you guys know is that it punches this bunny out, and of course if you wanted to have the punch out of DSP or out of cardstock to stand alone, you would need the punch. But until May 15th we can still use the stamp set and fussy cut out our bunnies. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to show you how to get started. We're also pairing it with my fave stylish shapes. We're going to be using the circles and one of the banner pieces. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to get the stamp set out of our way and let's get started. So in this little box we have a belly band. You can see that I've made it look like grass because bunnies like to be hopping around the grass. And this paper is some of the free paper that you can get with a $100 qualifying purchase in the US, called the Dandy Designs paper in the celebration brochure. And inside I have these cute little Hostess powdered donuts. So this is the little package. There's 6 mini donuts in here, and I'm going to show you how to make a really cute little box to house them. Hang on one second. Little donut doesn't want to let my box close, but we'll get it. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and slide our belly band back on. And we'll put that right over to the side, and I will show you how to make it. So we're going to start with a piece of Daffodil Delight cardstock, and it's a rather large piece. It's 8 inches by 9 3/4, so you can only get one of these boxes out of a sheet of cardstock, but look at how cute and how perfectly it fits this cute little donut. So we're gonna roll with that and make it adorable and cute. And we'll get started. So let me grab my Simply Score tool. That's what we need to get us going. So let me grab that. I'm gonna put the cardstock over the top. We're gonna score on the short and the long side. And I definitely want you guys to learn how to make it, because I don't know about you, but I'm not a big fan of these powdered donuts, but my husband and both of my kids love them. So when they were small, they used to love to get those little white powdered donuts. We would buy them in a bag and they absolutely loved them. So this is going to be a fun treat for me to make for them. All right, so what we're going to do is we're starting with the 9 3/4 inch length across the top. So that's the long side. So we're going to score it in 2 spots at the long side. We need 2 inches on either side. 2 inches on this side and 2 inches on that side. So we're going to start at the 2 inch mark and then 7 3/4. So that gives us 2 inch pieces on either side. We're going to rotate it to the short side. So this is the 8 inch side. We're going to do 4 score marks. So we're going to do at the 1/2 inch mark. This is going to form the little piece that tucks into the box. So that's our 1/2 inch. We need 2 1/2 inches, 4 1/4, and 6 1/4. So this is what we have left. move this out of the way. And then of course we're gonna burnish like we always do on all sides. So we'll start, oops, sorry, my little website address moved out of the way there. All right, so we're gonna start with this side. We're gonna all right, those were the 4 score marks we made on the short side. Let's do the 2 2-inch score marks now on the long side. All right, so this is the flap of the box that's gonna tuck in. That means we don't need this piece of our box, and we don't need the sides to be the full length of the box. It's too long, so we're gonna trim that out. So the first thing I'm gonna do is get rid of both of these, and I'm just gonna slightly angle that. So we're gonna go ahead and cut these 2 pieces away. Okay, just like that. So those are the 2 pieces. This makes the little piece that tucks into our box, and these sides are going to be the 2 that go in. We don't need them this long. So I'm going to start, and I'm just going to do a little bit less than half. I'm going to make a cut there. I'm going to do the same thing. You can see it's a little bit less than half. I'm going to do the same thing here, a little less than half. It doesn't matter if it's not exactly a match. The most important thing is that we just trim those out, okay? So there's those. And then we're gonna go ahead and cut down both sides of the score line. You guys know I like to do that because it cuts away that extra piece down the center. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that. And let's do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to trim away that little excess piece. Okay. We're going to trim up these sides right here. And this middle piece, you can see it's a little bit more square than these, okay? We're going to trim that piece, but not yet. I'll show you how we're going to do it. But first, we're going to go ahead and cut down both sides of the score line. Same as we did on our other pieces. So there's one. And let's do the other side. I just like to get the bulk out, and when we get rid of the score mark completely, it removes that bulk. Once I have the other side cut, I'll show you so that you guys, if you want to take a screenshot, you can. There is going to be one more cut on that square piece, but I will show you that as we start assembling our box. So here's our last cut for now. I'm gonna put this down so I can see what I'm cutting. I don't want to cut too much. I just want to get that center section out. Okay, so let's clear that. So this is the top of our box, and the part that tucks in, this is the top, this is the back, this is the bottom, and this is the front. And these pieces here, we're going to trim it. So this is how we figure out how much to trim. We're going to start assembling our box, and you see that piece that sticks out right there? I'm just going to hold it in place. And I'm going to take my paper snips, because they're fine bladed and they cut really, really well for something like this. So I'm just going to hold it in place, and I'm going to go ahead and make sure that it's even, and that I go ahead and slide my blade right across there. And that's how we know how much to cut. And we're going to do the other side the same. All right, so we're going to put that part in, bring this part forward, and that's how much we're going to cut away again. So I'm going to hold on to that and bring my scissors in. And there is our cut. I just want to make sure it's straight. I think I missed just a hair, so I'm going to fix that. There we go. All right. Hopefully I was in camera for that. I'm not sure that I was. But we just cut off these two edges by bringing them in, because they need to be equal with the sides. See, right here is the sides. Hopefully I was in camera. I guess we'll find out when I edit my video. Okay, so there is our sides. And this forms our box. And then these pieces are going to get angle cut. And just make sure that I have a straight piece. There we go. And then this one's going to get angle cut. There we go, and that one's straight. All right, I'm going to let you get a screenshot now. So there is our box piece. And let me just card the scraps while you guys grab a screenshot. All right, on to the next step. We're going to be attaching some of the Balmy Blue Polka Dot DSP from the Dandy Designs. Okay, so this piece here is the top of our box. So this would be this part here on the top. And it is, we only need one piece of this. It's 5.5 by 1 3/4. The bottom of the box isn't going to get anything. So let's go ahead and bring in our wet adhesive. Whoops, got a little crazy as usual. You guys know how I get. That's why I have that mat. All right, we're gonna go ahead and line up our DSP. And once it dries, I will get that excess that I put on top there off. But for right now, there's nothing I can do until it dries. All right, let's move to the next piece. This is gonna be the back. And I have the back and the front are the same. We need 2 of those. And those are 5.5 by 1.5 inch pieces. So we're gonna do that one and this one. This is the bottom. So let's go ahead and get our adhesive. I'm gonna move this out of the way. Alrighty. So there's our front and back. There's that one. And here's our other piece. Now we have 2 pieces for the sides, but I'm not going to glue those until my box is put together so that I know for sure that I have the right pieces attached. And those 2 side pieces are 1.5 by 1 3/4 of an inch. So let's go ahead and bring in our adhesive remover and lift up that adhesive that I smeared by accident on my silicone mat, and then put on my paper. There we go. All right. All done. So now we're going to go ahead and put our box together. So to put the box together, again, we're going to have this back piece come in first. We're going to glue that, and then we're going to glue the front piece over the back piece, just like this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put adhesive on the back piece that's going to come forward. So we're going to put one here. And I'm just going to hold it till it grabs. I'm going to do the other side as well. The back piece is going to get the adhesive. The back tab. Oh my Lord, I put it on the wrong piece, on the wrong side. It's okay. We'll put this one to the inside. It won't matter because the final piece that's gonna come up will be the front. But be aware that you put it on the right piece, which is why I didn't glue any of these on first. So let me go ahead and trim this while I can, because I lined it up with the other piece and now it doesn't match. So I need to get it to match so we have nice straight edges. There we go. Perfect. All right, so now we're gonna put on these two front tabs and we are gonna line those up and glue them on the sides here. So let's go ahead and put adhesive on the inside of this front tab and the inside of this one. So let's go ahead and attach that like so, and just make sure that it lines up. Perfect. Let's do the other one, which is why it doesn't matter that I messed that last one up, but this last section, you don't want this one to be a mess, right? Okay, so there is our box. Make sure it's nice and adhered, that all of our pieces are secure. Just gotta hold on to it for a second. It just takes a second for it to stick. And now we're gonna go ahead and adhere our two sides. So again, those are 1.5 by 1 3/4. All right. So we're going to put one on each side. I really like this blue polka dot, this balmy blue. It's pretty and it looks really good with the daffodil. It would also look really pretty with our So Saffron if you wanted to go a little bit lighter. I just thought the Easter colors would be pretty with the yellow and blue. We're going to add some green grass in a minute. All right, so there is my second piece. We'll let that adhere. All right, so there's our box. And there is, I pushed that down way too far, but there is how it stays together. Okay, we're going to put our donuts inside. And I want to make sure that these flaps are down and that they stay down, because that will help when we tuck in those flaps of these side flaps, that they don't get in, you know, they don't get bothered by that piece. So let's go ahead and tuck those in. So there is our box. I keep pushing that side too far. Okay, there we go. So there's our little box. Let's put it off to the side over here. Let me show you how to go about making our belly band. So this is our main belly band piece, and I have to get that to bend around our box. So we're going to bring that in here, and we are going to adhere this to the top. So we're just going to bring it around. We don't want it too tight. Just about right there is good. and I'm gonna hold it in place, and I'm just gonna give it some creases. And it's very loose. It's not super tight, which is what a belly band should be. It needs to be loose enough that it can slide on and off the box easily. If you make it too tight, then it won't do that. So let's go ahead and adhere the belly band piece together. That means we're gonna go ahead and put adhesive on here. Come on. There we go. Maybe not, might be out. Let me get another one. Yeah, let me get another one. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and attach some adhesive right there. And we're gonna go ahead and put, whoops, I put too much adhesive, so now I gotta be careful. Make sure that it there we go. I think I went a little too much. There we go, like that. It won't be a problem once we're done, but I don't want it to stick to my box. All right, so there's our little square band, and we're gonna make our little grassy side. So I have a fringe scissor, and Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell this, but you can get them on Amazon. They are made for like cutting like herbs, and I'll put a link in the description below so that you guys can figure out how to do it, where to get them. But we're gonna go ahead and start cutting just like so, how we're doing right now. I'm just gonna bring my scissor in, and I am making a little bit of grass. And what's nice, I mean, you can use a regular scissor if you want. It just takes a lot longer because this has a lot of blades and it cuts a lot at the same time, which is kind of fun, right? So as you can see, I'm just working my way down and making myself some grass here. And here's our last piece. So now we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other side of this. Almost through. All right, so there's our grass on both sides. And now we need to glue this to the inside. Now it's going to be a little too long, so what we're going to do is we're just going to take our scissor and we're going to cut down the center here. Okay, the part that I did not put the scissor to, so that we have just a straight edge all the way across, just like that. Okay, so we have two pieces. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna use my belly band to line it up. So I'm gonna figure out how far I need my piece to be. So we don't want any at the bottom, because if we have it at the bottom, it gets in the way. So this is gonna be the top. So we're gonna start it at the side here. Okay, and we're gonna figure out how much of this do we need. I just used a scrap of 8.5 inches by, I think it was about 2 inches. And we're gonna go ahead and line this up like this. And there is our piece. So we're gonna use our scissor and we're gonna trim right there. And you can always use that piece for grass for another project. So there's the one, and I'm just gonna go ahead and line that up with my second piece and trim that away as well. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and put adhesive on here on both of those edges. And remember, this is gonna be the top. The reason that we put the seam on the top is so that when we place our pieces, nobody sees them, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and put a line of adhesive right around, come on, there we go. Right along that piece. We'll do the other one in a minute. We'll do one at a time. So we're going to start here, and we're going to insert our little fringe. And I just like to hold it till it sets and just work our way around our piece until we get to the back. Okay? Just like that. I think it's adorable. Don't you? It's super cute. Let's do the other side now. So I'm going to turn it. And we're going to add a line of wood adhesive. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to start at the bottom. And we're just going to slide it in as we work our way around and make it to the back. Okay? So there's our fringe of grass. Okay, so the bottom won't have any on there. And then once I have it in place and it's nice and glued, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna mess with this part, but let's go ahead and put it to the side right now. We're gonna work on our bunny and while that dries. So the next thing is, here is our circle from our Stylish Shapes. So it is the second one in from the outside. And we also have our second right here. That's in Highland Heather. Those are just scraps. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp our bunny on a piece of basic white. So we'll start first with our words. I'm going to grab my Memento. And we're going to ink up our words. Let's move that. All right, let's see. Make sure I can see what I'm doing here. All right, we're gonna do an Easter treat for you. So there's our words, perfect. And then let's go ahead and do our bunny. So let's ink him up. Our little Jasper, we're making a little Jasper bunny today. Bunnies aren't always white. Jasper has a white underbelly. It's really funny because you can't tell that he's white when he's hopping around, but when you flip him over, he's white. He really is a beautiful little bunny. Hopefully you guys have seen him. If you haven't, you'll have to check out the video. I put him on, I think it was the one for the Valentine Turtle Bites. It was a live video, and at the beginning of the video, I had him on camera. Oh, I missed the bottom. Let's flip that over and try again. I didn't mean to bring it down quite so far. Let's go ahead and try a second time. Sometimes that happens, right? Thank goodness for 2 sides to every sheet. All right, let's try this again. I couldn't see, and I lowered him too much. All right, so how about right there? I think this time we did it correctly. Yeah, perfect. So there's our little bunny. Let me clean both stamps now that we're done with our stamping. All right, so we're going to use our Stampin' Blends to color our little bun in. So let me grab a scrap paper. I like to color on Stampin' Blends. So I'm going to start, this is our light basic black Stampin' Blends. You get a light and a dark. I'm going to bring this in so that you can see as I go ahead and shade him. I'm going to do an outline all the way around him first because I don't like to go outside the lines, and so doing an outline helps me with that. So I'm going to start there. Jasper has white around his eyes, so I definitely do not want to color there, so I'm gonna make myself a white ring around his eye like that. And then that way we can color the rest in. I'm gonna do this ear. And we're gonna come down. Again, I'm gonna do a little outline. He also has black on his tail except for the very tip and the underside. So I'm gonna basically do that portion of his tail, maybe a little bit lower, and I'll leave him a little bit of white. And then he has white on the tips of his feet, so we're not gonna do his tippy toes. And his belly is white, so I'm not gonna do that part there. We're gonna work on his arms. All right, let's go ahead and color him in now. See, the outlining helps so that you don't go outside the line and so that you don't color what you don't want color, right? So let's work on this section until we have him good to go. The really cool thing about Stampin' Blends is they do dry lighter once the air grabs the alcohol that's in the marker and it evaporates. And also, it can be lightened with a product that we have called Color Lifter, and that's what I'm going to do to his whiskers. And I didn't leave him quite as much white this time around the eye as I did on that one, and that's okay. Every bunny's not the same, right? All right, we're going to start with light petal pink, and we're going to put that right here in his ear. All right, now I'm going to show you how to use the Color Lifter. So I'm going to lighten around his nose, so I'm just going to kind of mark right there, and it's going to actually lighten up that color. You can see it right there happening. We're also going to grab where the whiskers are, and I'm just going to remove some color where the whiskers are on his face. Okay, and then I want to lighten a little bit right here around his head, so I'm just going to lightly stroke my Color Lifter, just real gentle. Okay, we're going to remove a little color there, and then I want to kind of lighten a little bit by his feet because I really want you to see the definition of his little flank. So by using the Color Lifter on the artist lines, it will help us to be able to differentiate those parts. So I'm just lightening those sections. You're going to see in a minute as he starts to lighten. And then I can darken over the areas that I want him to be darker. Another thing you can do with the Color Lifter is you can stroke so it looks like he has fur. Those little lines that I'm stroking are going to show as it evaporates. And it also creates a pretty cool effect. So I'm going to let that happen so that you guys can see that take place. While I wait for that to happen, let's go ahead and fussy cut him out. So we're going to go ahead and go around him. These bunnies are very easy to cut out, so even though there's not dies for them and only one punch for one of the bunnies, it doesn't take very long to cut them out. They're pretty cool and pretty easy to cut. You just work your way around. Today is the first day of Easter week. And I'm going to do a couple weeks of Easter for you guys. And I think you guys are going to enjoy the projects. I'm having a really fun time making them. So this little donut box is just one. Tomorrow we'll have another great treat box, so make sure that you come by and watch. And don't forget to subscribe, share my videos. You can also pin these videos to Pinterest, which I think is a fantastic idea because then you can come back and do them whenever you're ready. All right, so there he is. He's starting to lighten up. See all those little strokes that I did on him? You can really see where that's lightening up. Now I'm gonna add a little more darkness to him. If I take too much away and I want some more, I'm just gonna use the brush end here, and I'm just gonna gently stroke, not over the artist lines, but in the areas where I think I've removed a little bit too much of his darkness. I like the whiskers to show. I'm gonna darken up a little bit and just leave his little nose. Just really carefully right there. And I think he turned out pretty cool. All right, so let's go ahead and figure out where we're gonna place our little flag. I'm gonna move my scrap paper. Let me bring my mat back in. So we're gonna put our little bunny kind of perched up on our circle like this. And I wanna make sure that I have the Easter treat flag just where I want it. So now that I have it in place, I'm gonna go ahead and flip that up. I'm gonna grab my wet adhesive and I'm just gonna put some underneath here just to grab. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and let that adhere to my circle, just like that. Now this is gonna be flat, but we are gonna pop our little guy up. So let's grab some dimensionals. I'm gonna grab the minis and the regular size. And remember, I stamped him on the wrong side and I wasn't happy with him, so I flipped him over. So he's gonna have some funny colors back here, but you know how I like to put plenty of dimensionals. We're gonna make sure that he's lifted rather well. I think I pulled one off here. Yes, I did. Let's put one on each ear. All right. We're gonna grab our take your pick tool. Let's move our Stampin' Blends out of the way. We're gonna pull the backs off and we're gonna attach our little bunny. They're so staticky, these things. That's why I like to use the take your pick tool to pull them off so they don't end up on my craft room floor. I think we're good there. I think they're all off. Yep. All right, let's add our bunny to our little banner here. So cute. Little Jasper. All right. So let's go ahead and put our belly band on our box. We're gonna slide it into place. Come on. There we go. The first few times it might get caught, but it just has to find its spot. Once we're happy with it, we're gonna mess with this. Remember, we said we were gonna do that, and you're gonna just lift up the grass pieces and get them kind of worked out and ready. I think they're super cute. Let's do this side. All right. Quite happy with our Easter grass and our bunny. So now we're gonna put our bunny right here in the center. Now, when I use the dimensionals, I'm actually gonna double set them. So I'm gonna put 2 and then I'm gonna put 2 on top of that. I want there to be plenty of height so that this grass underneath here doesn't mess with our little bunny. All right. And let's go ahead and attach him onto, I'm gonna look at it first, then I'll show you guys. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. All right, press him into place. There he is. There's our little belly band holding our bunny in place. You have all the cute little grass around him. You can see how cute that looks. I think it turned out fantastic. And there are our 2 donut treat boxes for Easter. I hope that you enjoyed watching me make it. I certainly had fun, as always. I love coming to you every day with projects, especially around the holidays. There's nothing better than making some really fun projects. Again, we used the Easter Bunny bundle. Well, actually, we didn't use the punch, but it is sold in a bundle. Once the punch is back in stock, you can order it in a bundle, or you can just order the stamp set for right now. I hope that you enjoyed again, like I said, and I will see you guys here tomorrow for another video. Thanks for being here. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping!